Good, yeah, good for ya.
You got to give it up for the brother. He got it going on.
Hello, and welcome back. Today we are going to do a disc die that I've been wanting to do for a while. It's actually going to be a little bit different than the one that I saw, so this may be an original actually. I have got a white ESP Buzzz from Discraft. We're going to die that up in an old bed here. This bed was used for the Zeus and the Hades, both that you saw previously. If you didn't see those, go back in the channel a little ways. You'll find them. I've only done a couple of disc dyeing videos, and it is one of them. I got a cool graphic on the front of a Zeus and a Hades and the disc that they're throwing. So let's get rid of the top of this guy and the strings and all the gunk coming off of the old bed. And that's what we're left with. And it's actually pretty cool. If I had a disc that I wanted to go in there right now, I think that is a nice looking bed. But we are going to do another cell die. This cell die is going to have a bunch of yellows and purples and oranges. We've got a red Prochem die that's got some silicone in it. So we're going to do a swipe with some colors, and then we're going to do a swipe with the silicone red, let it create some cells. Hopefully some of this shines through as well. And then we're going to put some yellow, maybe dandelion, maybe neon yellow over the top of that and see what it looks like. First thing we're going to do is get some colors swiped across there. So let's start with some oranges, I think. So all we're going to do for these oranges is we're going to get ourselves a nice little edge here. I don't want to pull across any of these old colors other than the orange. So this is, I believe, the neon orange. These neon colors do have a tendency to sink, so I do use more of them than I would generally. Let's go. We're going to go with that next to the orange there. And I think we're going to do it on both sides here. Doesn't have to be a clean line. We're not really worried about the clean lines here. We just want it to pull across. And this one, I've had tendencies of it sinking if it is just straight dye like this. So we're going to try and move fairly quickly. Might put another layer on that before we pull. And here's some purple. It's another one of those colors that doesn't like to stay on top of the Floetrol. Looks like there's a little white mixed in there. I might not have gotten a good mix on it. I just mixed this purple up just a minute ago. But that's okay. A little white's not going to hurt anything. And then we're going to go back in there with the pink and the orange so that we've got a nice palette to pull across. So there's the purple. Here's the pink. And once again, the orange. So like I said, I am hoping that some of the undercolor comes through when we're doing this, but we will find out. I'm going to take a piece of saran wrap, already cut the size. I'm sorry I didn't show you the saran wrap cutting. I think you guys can figure out how to do some saran wrap or cling wrap. Just going to set it on there, and we're going to get it touching. And as long as we're touching pretty good, we can go ahead and pull that across. We may do another run with that, which is just fine. No harm, no foul. Kind of dig it. Some red across. Oops, just broke my red. That's right, I need a new one of these bottles anyway. So we're going to run some red. This red has some silicone already in it. So what that is going to do once we get it cooking. It's been sitting under the heat lamp for a little while. It is going to naturally want to create some cells for us as we swipe. And that is essential for the final step, which will be the yellow or the neon yellow over the top. Is to have that silicone in here to start creating some cells for us. As we said before, that's okay. However these turn out is how they turn out, and I'm not really gonna complain about it. So we're gonna pull that red with the silicone in it across. Pretty cool. You can already see some cells forming there. I'm going to do one more pull across with that. Already. Come on, stick down and stick down. I want that side a little bit better. Nice. With some yellow and some neon yellow, both across the top. Starting with this neon yellow. And going over this red, it should create some pretty darn cool cells. And you know, I don't know if I'm going to go with the yellow. It might just be this neon yellow. I've never been too good with these pull-throughs, so bear with me, and if you find a better way to do this, please do it the better way. I don't know what the better way is. It looks like we've got some extra color coming across there, which again I'm fine with. For now, that looks pretty neat. I want to see if I can pull one more across there and we should be good to go. Awesome, that is it. We're gonna get this thing under the heat lamp for a little while and see what it'll give us. I like the blue on the outside. If I need to create some cells on the outside, I'm going to do that. But otherwise, the heat lamp should get me what I'm looking for. Let's get it over there. I'll be right back with you. So we're going to watch this here for a few minutes. If we're not getting the cells that we're looking for, we'll stop and try something else. But it looks like there's some cells trying to form in there, and that's really what we want. All right, y'all, well, I'm not going to be upset about things not working out as I intended for them to. There was no real cell growth there. So what we are going to do is create some cells of our own. I'm not looking for a pattern here. I think what I want is more of a sporadic cell creation. So let's go wild here and just bam, 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 and see what that looks like to start with as those heat up. Get some more in there. Bam, 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 bam. I don't know if BAMs help in cell creation, but you know, it's what they got today. So if they do, then we're going to blame it on the BAMs that we got some cool cells. If they don't, well, that's not a big deal either. I would just like to have these cells kind of butt up against each other and fill the bed, and let's get some cool colors going. I'm trying to avoid the spots that I already hit. All right, y'all, I think that we are getting the gist of what I want here. So let's get this ESP Buzzz into that. So we have Discraft ESP Buzzz. We're going to drop it right into the cell die. I'm thinking that I'm liking this spot right here the best. So I'll rock it in. There it goes. And I like to get it to where we are just coming up the rim if possible. All the way around. That looks pretty good. So that's going to sit there for at least a couple of hours under the heat lamp, and we'll see what she looks like here shortly. Let's make sure we've got the majority of it in that heat so it stays hot, and we'll check on that Buzzz in a couple hours. All right, there it is. There we have it. It's been sitting underneath the heat lamp for the last 2.5 hours-ish. I think that's as long as I want to do it today. And let's take it out of here and see what we get, huh? Let's get all the gunk off the side. Quite a bit of gunk on this one today, actually. Moment of truth. I think it came out pretty cool. There she is. That is the ESP Buzzz. It's likely going to go into my bag tomorrow to be played up at Rain Shadow and Lincoln Park. I like the way that it came out. I like the way that the cells ended up. I know we changed our plan of dying there part of the way through after we weren't getting very many cells to get created. But again, there she is. And as a special treat on the channel, my wife is going to step in here in just a second and do a dye job on the edges to finish the back, make it look real nice. I'll show you that when it's all done, but enjoy watching her do that to the soundtrack of Hanging with Mr. Cooper. Here we go.
Good, yes, good for ya. You got to give it up for the brother. He's got it going on. Cooper, gonna tear a house down. I'm a hero.